Hi guys, I wanted to make this video and talk about carbohydrates. Now, on a balanced diet, it's actually Herbalife's philosophy, but it's also science. We should have at least 40% carbohydrates in order to have a balanced nutrition, which is coming from food, 30% from fat, and this can come from supplements and food, 30% from protein, which is coming from food. But I want to stress on carbohydrates. A lot of the emphasis is placed on protein because most of the times we don't eat protein, we eat more of this. Now, what are the functions of carbohydrates? I'm going to give you guys that for homework, okay? But one of the most emphasis on carbohydrates is for energy, and our bodies are actually working off energy, which we call calories. Now, what I did was to go through my today intake of carbohydrates. Normally I try to get it on a low macro. Sometimes I have it all out of control, like I don't pay attention to it and I eat, and I can actually feel when I have too much carbs, because that carbs start to store in your body as fat. The whole glycolysis process, it transfer it as fat. Now I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I had this morning. So I know I started my day off with my aloe and my tea. No, first of all, what I try to do is to just have an idea of what I'm going to eat throughout the day. This way, I know what I'm doing. I have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So sometimes I'm more detailed with my timing, but because I have that set up on my phone, sometimes I'll just jot it down because I'm strapped for time, or you get lazy sometimes. We're all human beings. So shaken tea, 2 slices of bread, peanut butter, and sometimes as I go along I just add it in, or try to have after studying it for a while, you're gonna get to know, okay, I don't need to have this because I've had too much carbs. So today I want to go low on my carbohydrates, but as you see, this is what I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have 6 meals because I plan to do some activity today. But normally if I don't do anything much, because I go a little longer in the gym than normal people, I'll add an extra meal to make up so I don't lose too much weight. Now, so you get up, you have your tea, your shake, and your aloe. How much grams of carbohydrates are you having here? We always focus on the protein. Now, your Herbalife Skin has some grams of carbs, and I wrote it here, 2 grams of carbs. There's 13 grams of carbs in your Formula 1. In your Formula 1 thing, there's no carbs in your aloe. There's no carbs in your tea, so that's actually good. So that's why we like to promote the tea, because it's actually low in calories, and low in calories means it has no carbohydrates, but it's also providing energy. How they did that part of the science I don't understand yet. Yeah, I don't comprehend that part yet. I'm not that far. However, for my snack, I said I bought this bread because I like to have bread sometimes, not a lot of times, but I'm like, okay, it look pretty in the supermarket, and we get tempted by these stuff. Are they good for us? Is question we ask. But hey, I saw oatmeal. No, I'm like, that looks good. I picked it up. So, but what I should realize is giving me 27 grams of carbs, and it's 2 slices. Now I could have cut this down to 1 slice, and then I would have cut my carbs, but I had 2 slices of bread today. I went all out because I'm like, the bread is gonna be stale. I need to eat this up. So sometimes that's not the smartest thinking. So I had 27 grams of carbohydrates there. Then my banana, I cut it in half, or 3/4. I left a 3/4. I had a quarter. There's actually 27 grams of carbohydrates in a banana, and that is why if you look at this and you look at this, look at that. I would choose this as a carbohydrate source than bread usually if I'm really watching what I'm doing. But instead I added this and I added this. I made a sandwich with bread, peanut butter, and bananas. Now in my peanut butter is also carbohydrates, and it tells you on the back it has 8 grams of carbs. So I'm adding carbs there. From my main meal, I'm going to have chicken breast and some salad, and I'm going to use black bean for my carbohydrates. In that, it tells you a half cup is a serving. It has 19 grams of carbs. In my salad, it's only 2 grams of carbs. And then the yogurt that I'm gonna have has 7 grams of carbs, and the last shake has 13 grams of carbs. When I add all this up, I'm having 101 grams of carbs. Now this is moderate. However, if sometimes my macros for the day, I wanted to get under 60 for carbs, or 80, depends on what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to go compete, it's different. But for a normal person, 40 grams of carbs is the reference, which means you're having 163 grams. 40% of your diet equals to 163 grams of carbs. So some of the times, if you're experiencing you're not losing enough weight, it could be that your carbohydrates intake, it's too much. So your body is like depositing fat, it's converting it to fat and storing it to